talk about anxiety today. And if you're watching this on YouTube, oh, actually, you can hear his sigh there. Good morning, Brent. How are you?
Oh, you just kicked me in the balls. Wanted to talk about this on Monday morning, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're recording after that long holiday break. The reason why I wanted to talk about this, for so many reasons, is I had anxiety this morning for the kids going back to school. And I had it last night, and, I have it here and there. But I was like, anxiety for me, I know how it feels in my body, and I want you to explain how it feels in your body. But the reason why I want to talk about it is because I want a parent that maybe doesn't struggle with anxiety or does, but assumes their kid doesn't feel it because they don't know how to express it. But when you struggle with dyslexia or struggle in school period, you have anxiety. Like, there's no question about it. There's anxiety, even if the child doesn't know how to use the words. Like, I know Montgomery used to get so angry with me. I'd be like, when I used to use the word anxiety, he'd be like, no. And then he would say something. And I'd be like, honey, that's anxiety. And he would be like, oh, it is? And I'm like, yes, that's anxiety. So I want to start with you first. Or do you want me to go?
Well, the two biggest ones for kids, obviously the bellyache. That's because obviously kind of like dyslexia, you're right. You can't see the anxiety, right? So where do you go? No, not my pinky hurts, or not my toe hurts, or not my, it's, I've got a headache, or I've got a bellyache.
Mm-hmm.
And the bellyache is obviously the anxiety in the tummy, and if it continually says it, because I don't even know right now, and I'm going to pass this back to you to start, because I don't even know how to articulate it.
Okay. So because I was like, oh, there he goes. I'm going to be bringing him back, and he's not going to like this.
No, I don't. I honestly don't even know.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm the kid, right now. How do I even articulate everything that comes with what the feeling?
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about how anxiety feels for me in a couple different, because there's different levels of it. There's different, when my anxiety kicks up, there's different feelings in my body. And we all know I'm very in tune to my body. So I can tell exactly where it goes. So for instance, this morning, I woke up at 5 and I was like, motherfucker, and I did not get a good night's sleep because I couldn't fall asleep because I had anxiety for the kids. The kids don't have, the kids are like, oh, we got to go back to school.
But your anxiety, was your brain running?
Yep. My brain completely runs, but I have this feeling in my body that is just tightness. It is tightness in the chest. It is tightness really in kind of like in every limb. Like I don't get it in my throat. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. I don't get it in my throat. I know some people do, like,
Elizabeth gets it in the throat.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so, and I'm so excited. I usually,
you sick fuck.
Well, this goes back to the chakras, which I know you're going to be like, oh my God.
Oh, the chakras?
The chakras. So the chakras are, and I know you don't, you're like, okay, this goes back to woohoo, but it's not. It's all spirituality, and all of us have, and I don't know it like 100%, but I've done podcasts on it. But the chakras are all different places in your body. So there's the root chakra, there's the throat chakra, there's the heart chakra, there's the sacral, there's the, and I'm not going to get them. I'll look them up as you're doing it because I do want to talk further into it. But people that have the throat chakra, that's communication. So each chakra has different things in it, and it's where your body feels your stress. And usually it goes back to trauma. Okay. So for whatever reason, I never get it in my throat. I get it in my stomach, and it's not an upset stomach. It's like, it's not butterflies. It's like a tightness in my stomach, or in my chest. And it's like heavy. It's like someone's sitting on my chest and I can't take a breath. And there, a solar plexus is the other one. I can't breathe in deeply when my anxiety kicks up. I have to like really stop myself and be like, okay, now I have anxiety. There's different levels, right? So some people, like, that anxiety can lead to an anxiety attack. I've never, thank goodness, and I hope I fucking don't. So I'm not putting it out there for whoever's trying to grab it. I never had an anxiety attack that I know of. Maybe when I was little, but I don't think so. I know how to work my body through it, but I have to like take a second. My shoulders usually go up and go tight. I can feel it in my hips. So it's like I have two places where I really feel it.
Your hips?
My hips.
And
that's the sacral. So like
I don't get it in my throat. My obviously brain doesn't shut off, but it questions everything I've done in my life. It doesn't stop. No. Talk about being hard on yourself. Holy fuck. Anybody who's in my brain would want to jump off the bridge with me, because it's, times 10 million.
You just beat yourself up.
I did this. I caused this. I did this. I caused this. I did this. I caused this. I'm an asshole. I did this. I caused this. I did this. I caused this. And then it just picks up. It doesn't slow down. It picks up. And then, questions it, and then further, and then goes deeper and deeper into another one, it just, it doesn't stop.
Do you feel it in your body anywhere else other than your brain, or you just really haven't thought about it?
No, I haven't really thought about it. It's, the tightness, but again, my body's so tight and fucking screwed up from all the years of hockey and other things that I've done for over the years. So I don't even know I didn't know the difference. But I think, if you take a look at anybody, just science, everybody rolls forward, right? Because everything's being pulled, everything's being squeezed. And I know somebody close to me, young woman now, who had massive bladder issues. I know that, it's just, everything's still.
Yeah, well, that has to do with the chakras where that your bladder is located. And so, continue, right?
And just make fun of, like, you gonna get diapers. We had, it depends, and as a little girl and a teenager, that's the things that were said, right? Going on a road trip, and every 5 minutes, I got to I got to pee, and that's that's all that
tightness.
anxiety. That's where obviously the deep breath. So it's, I think if you take a look at anybody, obviously shoulders are a big pressure point, right down down the middle of your back. There's a pressure point, and your hips, everything rolls forward, everything squeezes like this, so everything goes off balance. Not so for me, my muscles, I don't even know the difference, because anybody touches my back, they're like, Jesus, what's wrong with your back? I'm like, well, that's been like that for 30 years because I've had so much shit happen to it. So I can't say the muscles with it. You're going to get lack of appetite. How many people you see lose weight, stress, they don't eat, right?
Or they do the opposite.
Yeah, that's there's two ways. The stress eating, and then there's
I used to stress eat.
Yes, I just eat. If I see it, I eat it. If I don't see it, I don't eat it. We're got a little deep freeze in the garage, and like, I gotta throw some of the stuff out. We've had it for a year. I'm like, if I saw it, I would have eaten it by now. It's, and the headache, because it runs up through your neck, and runs right up in the bases. And these are real things. And parents, yes, some kids will try and get out of school, right? But why? There's always a why. Why don't you want to go to school today? Now, if you're 3 or 4 days in, all right, why are you having stomach aches, and why don't you want to be there? Why is it like and that's the thing. It's there is a why. There's always a why. And if we
Starts
don't
with why.
know if we don't find out what that why is, no matter if the kid's in, kindergarten or grade 2, or, let's use Montgomery for an example. Why didn't he want to leave the playground? Because I was just having too much fun. Well, okay, it's supposed to be fun in the classroom too. You're in kindergarten. Like you're in the playground playing in the sandbox, but you're supposed to be going in the class, and it's supposed to be fun too, right? You're in kindergarten. You're not going from the playground playing the sandbox with the Tonka trucks to writing an essay, right? It's supposed to be fun. Why isn't there? And we got too many people in the world this is just how it is. This is what we do. Well, we're not all made the same way, right? We're not all built the same way. So how can it all just be cookie cutter? So you have to know that there's a why, and you need to find out what that why is, no matter where we are, no matter how we are. And if that's, that anxiety just, leads to that everything, right? Why, we've talked about this on here many times, they're talking about, school shootings, right? In the last 4 years, every single kid has been on our SSI, antidepressant. Nobody's asking, okay, why are you putting on a kid on an antidepressant if they're in middle school? Oh, you're depressed. Okay, here it is. Okay, no, why are you? What's going on? What led to this? If you have a bridge and everybody's trying to get to the other side, all right, bridge falls apart. Okay, why did it fall apart? We need to put another one. And that's, you ask that question. No, we just need to understand, why does your body hurt? Why does your stomach ache? What is going on? Explore that. We talk about this, probably every single time we're on here. And, obviously for my house and Elizabeth and I, the last 3-4 months have been very, very stressful, and a lot going on, and many plates are spinning, and, we're both not sleeping properly and both not eating properly. And it affects everybody's life when you can't find out that why, and then, you talk about, and did you say the throat, the communicating part? It's finding a way to communicate. Is maybe it's writing a letter. Maybe it's typing an email. Maybe it's sending, a text message. Maybe it's highlighting, something in the magazine and passing it to, your parents, or your sisters, your brothers, or your uncles, or your significant other, or whatever that is. There's no right way to communicate. It's just finding a way to, to that communicate, to be able to, have that conversation. And so many people, you talk about panic attacks, right? They go to the hospital. I don't know. I think I'm dying, right? Oh no, you're just having a panic attack. Oh, and okay, they'll treat them. Okay, but very rarely do they go on there and dig in. Why did I have a panic attack? Okay, well, all right, I'm having a panic attack, or use an allergy, food allergies. If I'm allergic to nuts, okay, you do the research to figure out why you're, now you don't eat nuts. You find your way around things to do that. Same thing with your triggers, your traumas. You can't heal, and you can't be the best version of yourself without understanding all that.
and understanding. And that's what I wanted to take it to that, because just as you said, how your anxiety shows up when you said to me, like, oh, does your brain just spin? So the way my brain spins is I go through all the things that I have to do in that week. I get the overwhelm of like, oh, I have this, I have that. And I think it's really important to people to think about it, because not everyone in their brain does the same thing. I'm very fortunate. I really don't, I don't beat myself up, and I'm so glad I don't. Like, I am actually like very thankful I don't do that, because that sounds hard. Are there times? Yes, but that's not like something that goes over in my head. You know, if I make a mistake, or, you know, I'm frustrated with something, you know, there's things. But what I do is like, I'm like, okay, the kids need to be up at this time. I hope I get enough sleep. It's usually now,
Oh,
as I'm this age, it's like, I hope I get enough sleep so I'm clear and not, you know, not grumpy because I'm tired, because I want to be like, you know, in a good mood. And I know lack of sleep for me is grumpy.
the early morning flight, I got to get some sleep, and then wake up every 10 minutes looking at the clock. Oh, I got.
Exactly. It's the worst. Right. So that is what I do. And then you just can't shut it off. So how I do shut it off is I've gotten really good is, and I know you're going to make fun of me for this. However, I basically live in fantasy land in my head. And it's really fun. It's really fun.
It's really fun.
It's really fun. It depends on what, but I will create a story. A lot of times I'm in a boat, or there's something, because the boat rocks and I can feel that in my head. And it's just like, you know, yes, I'm going deep here. I'm talking about all the things I do. Or I really try to get my mind off, or I'll listen to a meditation is what I've been doing lately, because my fantasy lands are not working as well. So I will listen to a meditation that helps me do that. Writing, you know, I started journaling again, and used to do it a long time ago. And I've talked about like where I used to voice note in between. If I wasn't writing, I was voice noting. Either are great, because it just gets everything out of my head.
And when you're journaling, it doesn't have to be sentences. It doesn't have to be question marks and points, and you just go.
Yeah, exactly. And those things, it sounds so cliche, and it's so annoying, because you hear all the people, especially on social media, talk about all the good things they're doing, but it really does work, and it really does help settle. You know, teaching kids to do it, it's a hard thing. I have teenagers. They're like, you know, give me the finger if I like said, hey, if you're having anxiety, do this. But it is something that even if you're dropping little seeds here and there for them, if they're older or if they're younger, having them draw pictures or drawing how they feel, you know, even if they feel like they don't draw well, just to be able to express it or get it out, or even just say, I don't know what's bothering me. I really don't know. And I don't want to talk about it, because some people are internal processors and they don't want to. But if you talked, and I will put money on this, if you talk to anyone, once they express or talk it out or work it out, you feel better. If you keep it inside and you like fight with yourself all the time and you never express it, you're going to keep running those same circles of anxiety.
And there's no right or wrong. Again, let's be clear. Like there's no right or wrong. Everything works different ways. And, you know, there's so many things, you know, as we talk, and, you know, obviously I can diagnose dyslexics, and they don't even know they're dyslexic, right? By defense mechanisms, or, you know, habits, what they do. Oh, I'm like, oh yeah, he does this or he does that. I'm like, because we do the same thing, right? Oh, I know why he did that. You know, and if you don't have it, you're not going to understand why would he do. What are you talking about? This is crazy. And how many people, you know, like, you know, when we're out somewhere now, Elizabeth's like, oh, so can you tie your shoes? I'm like, no. Oh, you're just like, and the faces, how many jaws have hit the, you know, in our times in our podcast, how many jaws have we had to pick up off the floor? You know, because like, oh,
right. I think right.
Oh, that's why. That makes sense. Oh, I'm not the only one. Oh, you do that too? Oh, I'm not dumb. I'm not the only one. Oh,
Exactly. Because there's understanding.
right. Mm. You know, it's in the word cliche, we used to get it all the time, you know, in hockey. The cliche answer, but the cliche answer is a reason why. Because that's what needs to be done, or that's, you know, You do this. The cliches are the little things everybody needs to do.
To make it, I mean, it's true. It really is true. As much as it's annoying.
It's annoying as hell. You're like, we're going to get that cliche answer. What that cliche answer is what we need to do is, we're talking hockey references, right? Everybody wants to have a personality, or you want to, say wild thing or whatever. Or hockey, when go and just say, hey, we need to, simple cliche, don't get it in or do this or that. Because that's what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the reality to it. I'm like, I can't give you any crazy wild answer because that's not what needs to be done. And then that's also a little bit different, is that's what needs to be done. And doing it is also another very big difference. I know I have to do that. Now it's so annoying. The New Year's resolution shit.
I don't do that because I always.
Yeah. Let's go check out the gym parking lots right now, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Every time of the year for the gyms, right? Now we'll go back in a month and see, it's, as we talk about on here a lot, little victories add up. And we'll use a baseball, do you want to hit 60 or 300 home runs or 3,000 hits, right? Like, those little victories. So I know I have to get better at doing this. Okay, you know what? Just little increments to get to that point, or to get there. Just, I always tell people and parents, tell a dyslexic they did a great, great, great job. Like, why would I do that? That is the dumbest thing ever. Because we're so far down mentally. And that's exactly why, the foundation is different than anybody else. I don't need to blab on, is I don't care about learning. I really don't. Because if you're dark and you're so full of anxiety and depression and hate yourself, doesn't matter what I can give you. Doesn't matter what program. It doesn't matter what reading or writing program. You're not going to learn. It's going to in one year out the other. Why? If you've got a sponge, that it's tight like this, it's not picking up water. And that's what you are. We need you to relax.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get into the learning portion. But that's not step one. And everybody wants to go to step one, in my mind. Well, when you hate yourself and you hate school and you hate what you can do and you can't do this and you can't do that, and I suck and I don't have friends, and why is it me, and what, how are you going to learn like that?
Mm-hmm. The reason why I was looking around is I was looking to look up the chakras, and I don't know what I do with my phone. So I am not going to give you, but someone can look it up. I believe it's CHARKA.
When you said chakras, I was thinking of the remember the chalkboard? You had to clean the chalkboard.
Oh, right.
I forgot that's what you were talking about.
The chalk rows. Oh, you're talking about the row where the row. Yeah, no, chakra. Because it's a like old spiritual. You're basically in your body. Like, they would be able to diagnose back in the day before there was Google or different doctors. If you were having certain stuff in your body, they were able to go and be like, okay, this is what you need to release. This is the work you need to do. Your traumas are here. And there's like, each chakra has a color, but each chakra also has it has like probably 5 or 6 things that, like, if your chakra's closed, you're doing not great things. If it's too open, that's the other thing, is like, if it could be too open, like sometimes if your chakra is too open in certain parts of your body, you're going to go to the other side. So it's actually really fascinating. And I'll put some information. We'll probably put some information in the show notes if anyone is really interested. I did do a Don't Die Curious episode on just the chakras, which is really interesting because it's fascinating, because you do, like, as I've been on this journey of really growth, with growth, you have to go and as you say, clean out the closets. And it's so interesting, as we started this podcast, I was like, no, I'm pretty good with most stuff. Now I am, but there's, like, let's say I am below half of like cleaning stuff out, or below, above, whatever you want to go, above or below. But there's still like this much that I still had to dive into. And it's been exhausting. But I've learned a lot in the last number of years. And it is some of that kind of stuff I've been doing. And I'm like, all right, because I haven't been able to be like, okay, well, what is that? Why does that bother? Why do I tighten up there? Or why do I, second guess myself? Or why do I shrink? Or why do I not, there's different things, and you can actually go back to your body and really feel it. So afterwards, now I'm going to be talking to you about the chakras, sir.
As complex as the human body is, it's pretty simple.
Yes. Exactly.
Except for a woman. That's a whole different category.
Well, there's a whole thing on the period too. Like it's very interesting. But
Well,
same with the man.
Elizabeth came home yesterday. Was talking about, some lady does a podcast on relationships, and there was something about in-laws, and this lady got in a fight with her mother-in-law, and I'm like, hang on a second. She goes, it was great. I'm like, you guys actually think like that? I'm like, what? So the mother-in-law bought her a gift, and the wife didn't like it, and she had kind of the gift receipt and just kind of read her the riot act, I guess. So the next year she bought her an awful, ugly sweater and put an air tag in there and the wrong receipt. Wanted to watch her go back to the store and suffer.
The mother-in-law did?
No, the daughter or the daughter-in-law.
Oh, the daughter-in-law did it to the mother-in-law?
Put an air tag in it to watch Matt and watch the mother-in-law go back and have trouble returning it and going through all this shit.
Sad.
And then she walked back and said, hey, don't fuck with me, yow. But I'm like, she's like,
wow.
She was dying. She's like, it was the greatest thing. But I'm like, you guys think that way? I'm like, Jesus. Like,
now, I would say not every woman thinks that way.
She's over here smiling right now.
Well,
I'm not saying the mother-in-law what she did was right or wrong.
I know you got to give Elizabeth a chance to explain, because Elizabeth's like, don't say that, because that's not true.
She's like, you got to stop that shit right now.
But yes, women are different.
Correct, but simple.
But right, and there's still stuff with the chakras and men too. We
both. And obviously, women understand women and men understand men easily because we are. But we're simple, both pretty simple creatures with understanding.
Yeah,
and a lot of us don't dig to find that understanding because it's hard.
It's hard.
It's scary.
Uncomfortable. Can bring up more anxiety. I mean, that's the other thing, is when you do heal, you bring up more, like, so you feel shittier for a time being, but then you do feel better.
Yeah, it's a process, and just always remember. And that's why, you always say you're not alone, because you're not the only one. If you're a mother, did I do a good job, or what? I can't even put whatever those
Yeah.
Like, as a father, as a man, am I providing? Am I financially doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and this and that? Like, and it's hard to communicate that. It's just look, when we started this, I didn't know how to communicate that. I didn't know what words to say, and so we all kind of land in that same place, and but you're not alone. You're not the only one. That's the biggest thing, is you're not the only one. And the people who very, 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 at some point in time, it exposes.
Comes out somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out somewhere. So I'm going to leave it at that. But so I think for this episode, the takeaway is to really think about where you feel your anxiety, and then maybe dive into looking at, you could look it up, you could do whatever, but like, what does that mean if I'm feeling it here? What does that mean? Different things. So I'm going to be sending Brent some chakra stuff, which I'm so excited about. Well, on the next episode, we'll see if he looked into it or he just ignored me. We will see. But we're going to leave it at that, because that will be fun. So thank you again for joining Word Blindness, Dyslexia Exposed. Again, like, rate, review, and share. I can say that because I'm going to say that all day long. And review. We have had some really cool reviews, but that's one of the things that helps get our podcast out. Sharing it is great, but if you are on Apple or on Spotify, just taking a time and just writing something also lets us know that, people are listening and that we're not just sitting here talking and doing our own therapy, that it's helping others.